So we're here for reconciliation, eh?
Yeah, so what's that mean to you?
Thinking about yesterday, what happened, and then coming forward to understand why that happened, and then making a pathway of oneness into tomorrow, you know? What do you reckon about reconciliation?
Oh, for me it's about fixing what happened in the past for our mob. It's about bringing our people back to a level of standard of living that we were living before colonisation. It's about ensuring that what's happened to us can be undone and we can move forward together as one, I guess.
I like to tell the truth, what happened. You know, and in my experience when we was in school, we had to sit in the back of the class. We weren't really taught much. I mean, still into the 80s, you still couldn't walk on the streets here after 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know, you still couldn't do that. We were picked up outside of Hungry Jack's. We went and saw a movie. And we were put in the back of the paddy van. Me and my brother, I was what, 11?
Yeah.
Uncle was about 7.
Yeah.
I had to try and stop him from crying. To go through all that, and now to be talking about reconciliation. Truth-telling is about yesterday's stories, but then how can we come together, I believe, in to understand those stories with the other nations, even what they went through.
Yeah, for me, in my generation, there was, whilst we didn't have strict policies that, you know, made us unable to get access to education and employment, drugs hit the scene and just shattered our people, and very few Aboriginal kids in my generation didn't grow up with, you know, violence around the home and drugs. And I went to primary school where you could see the development of drugs. First there was the glue bags on the oval, then the marijuana sachets left around, then the needles, and the needles were probably the hardest one because you get educated at a young age, stay away from the parks, be careful when you walk through the sand. And a lot of the social issues in our generation, whilst the policies were quite open and not as racist, they still affected our people and still affect our people today. And that's really reflected in the, you know, this removal of children rates, the incarceration rates, the unemployment rates. So for me, I feel as though we've moved forward in understanding the past, but we still have a long way to go in understanding what our future looks like together.
I had racism all my life.
Yeah.
Sometimes go to the shop, even still today. You're standing in the seat and you don't get served.
Yeah, that stuff still happens. It kind of hurt.
That silent way, you know.
And I spoke to my daughter the other day. We took her shopping and we came out of the shop and she showed her handbag to the security guard, and the babysitter said, "Oh, why'd you have to do that?" And she said, "Because we're black and they think we're going to steal stuff, and so we have to show them we're not." You know, and that hurts. It hurts. Yeah. But what do you think it'll look like in 20 years?
I hope I'm here to see it.
Yeah.
I hope we have some sort of strength within Parliament to have a voice. Yeah. That's what we're asking for.
Yeah. But even in everyday kind of life, like, were you called racist names as a kid and stuff like that?
Yep.
See, I never heard a racist word until probably 6 years ago on a footy field.
True.
I hit a bloke fair and he called me a name, and I didn't even actually do anything back. It was my non-Aboriginal mates that took it up, you know. So yeah, I think racism has come a long way. We speak to a lot of non-Aboriginal friends who say, "Look, we just didn't know what happened to your mob, what happened to your elders and the stolen generation and the impacts that you guys have on you, and we want to know more about that." So I think that has to be a big part of reconciliation, is the truth-telling, so that others can share the journey forward with us and understand what we went through so they can help. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not looking for a handout, we're looking for a hand up to be able to get our people back to that standard of living where we're fit, healthy people.